What is going on, Capricorn? It's Chris Anthony coming at you guys live and direct once again for the year 2019. And guess what? This is going to be for the period of January the 1st to January the 15th. The whole period. Definitely. Like I always say, if this reading resonates with you, then do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things that I like. That lets me know that, it helped you in some type of way. If it doesn't resonate with you, then you can definitely check out one of my older videos or my future videos that are going to be coming up for Capricorn. Also, personal readings are still open to all zodiac signs. So if you guys want a more direct personal experience with me, you can email me with the email that's in this description if I could talk today. Capricorn, we're going to start off with your present energies right here, bringing in this new year, and then we're going to get on to more futuristic energies right here like we always do it. I think that's all of my announcements, so we're going to get right into the reading now. We're starting off, Capricorn, with the Tower card. And it's crazy, when I saw this Tower card when I was doing your shuffling and putting the cards together, the song that kind of popped in my head was Miss Fat Booty by Mos Def, and that's a hip-hop song if you guys are not familiar with hip-hop. For all you guys that didn't hear hip-hop even back in the day, if you're younger. But Mos Def was a pretty good artist, and he came out with a song called Miss Fat Booty, and it was kind of like a tower moment. He was kind of explaining a tower moment that happened to him, and I'll kind of like give you the summary of the song. Pretty much it was about him and how he met this woman that he was out like with his friends, and they went to this club, and one of his friends introduced him to somebody, and then to him it was kind of like love at first sight. He saw this woman and he was like, oh snap, like I'm kind of feeling her, like we got this strong connection. It was and they kind of like went through all the different stages of brand new love when it's kind of like that love at first sight moment. And, he kind of started to talk to her in the song and in the video. And then he asked her if he wanted to dance, and they kind of like went out to the dance floor and started to dance and all that. Then after that, he saw her the next day, or she called him the next day or something like that. And they ended up going to meet and then kind of like hooking up. He said in the song, like, he canceled all his plans for her. And he went in and then proceeded to smash her like an Idaho potato. That's kind of vulgar for some of you guys that get offended quickly, but that's the most that I can do to cover it up. But then later on in the song, he talked about how he kind of like, was trying to get in touch with her and he couldn't get in touch with her or something like that. And she kind of just like fell off out of nowhere. She kind of like, he was talking to her, dealing with her, they hooked up, and he thought it was kind of like the love of his life at the end of the day, and then she kind of just fell off and disappeared. And he was like, so a couple of weeks passed by, and he went to a strip club. And he went to a strip club, and then he saw this woman that he thought was kind of like an angel, that he thought was the love of his life, that he thought he had that he had like love at first sight experience with her. He saw her in a strip club, and she wasn't just chilling in the strip club. Oh, no. She was not just a waitress in the strip club. Oh, no. She was a stripper in the strip club. And it kind of like, shattered his whole experience that he had. And it was like his tower moment. And for some reason, I just chose to tell that story for you guys, only because that's the song that I heard about this tower card. So some of you guys around this time, unfortunately, could be having a tower moment, but it's kind of like a funny one for some reason, like, because in the song with Mos Def, he had that tower moment, but he the only thing he could do was laugh at it, even though it kind of hurt him a little bit, and it kind of like shattered this vision that he had for this woman that he thought was kind of like his love at first sight experience. He thought was kind of like his soulmate a little bit. And when he saw her kind of like dancing in the strip club, it kind of like everything made sense to him, because she just hooked up with him real quick and then she disappeared. And he looked at her kind of like as an angel sent from God or whatever, but then he saw her up on a pole in the strip club and he was kind of like, oh snap, like I got you all wrong. And that's probably what could be happening with you guys, Capricorn. I don't know for sure, but that song popped in my head for a reason, so I had to tell that story. You could be having a tower moment that is similar. Like, it kind of like shattered the way you saw a situation, or the way that you saw a person, and maybe you thought that this was the love of your life. You know, maybe you thought this person had everything together. The tower card right here is clarified by air sign, so maybe this is having to do with the air sign that you got in connection with, you know, and you thought that it was going to go all the way, you know, or maybe, you know, it could have been a different situation where you thought it was one way, but now it turns out it's a different way. And you can only like laugh at it, even though it probably causes you some type of pain, you know, and it makes you feel kind of like disheartened a little bit, because the tower moment is not usually that fun. But the only thing that you probably can do in this moment when you see the shattered dream happen is just kind of like chuckle a little bit, or laugh like, wow, that is amazing. Wow, I can't believe that this has happened. Wow. That's all you probably will just come to that point of just being like, wow, you know. But it's a tower moment that's happening for the good. Also, the last reading that I just did for Libra, they also got the tower card. So I'm like, wow, are we being welcomed into the new year with just tower moments? I believe we are. I think the person or the reading that I'm going to do after you guys is going to get another tower card for some reason. But I feel like it's kind of like an initiation into 2019. For some reason, 2019 does not want to have anything to do with who you were in 2018, or how you saw yourself, or, you know, what you were pursuing, or the people you were around, or whatever. I think 2019 is coming in making a big statement like, yeah, this is what's happening right here. This is what's coming your way, like rude awakening. Nope. You thought it was one way, but it's actually another way. And I think for you, Capricorn, you're going to take it pretty good. I don't think it's going to be like a crazy tower moment where everything in your whole life is falling apart and everything. You know, I think it's just you saw somebody or something one way, and then you kind of like get an awakening, and something happens to shatter the way you view that person, and you're kind of like, oh, snap. Well. Like, I thought it was one way, but it's actually another way. And so it could have to do with the air sign that you're having this tower moment with. Right below that, though, we have the 8 of Cups. So, yeah, pretty much you choose to walk away from that situation that you thought was going to be one way. You thought was going to bring you some emotional fulfillment. You know, you almost got to the 9 of Cups with this person or with this situation, but you're choosing to kind of like let it go. So this could be an outlook on life. It could be the way you look at, you know, emotional connections. It's some type of change that's happening around that whole thing, though. And maybe with the air sign or this Knight of Swords being here, it could, you know, be beckoning you to take on a more logical approach when it comes down to emotional connections. This could be the lesson in this tower moment. And you know, with you walking away from these emotional cups and moving forward with a more chariot, you know, energy, this could just be you wanting to get away from this situation as soon as possible. Get away from this person as soon as possible. As soon as you find out this new thing that shattered the way you viewed this person or you viewed this situation, you're kind of like, oh, snap, it's time to go. Pack the bags, get me up out of here ASAP. Call me the Uber, get me in my car, like somebody come pick me up. I gotta go. You feel me? Like, that could be where you're headed, because the chariot energy is kind of like you want to move on past this situation as quickly as possible. You know, it's kind of like it has ended. That was the end. I want to move forward in another direction. And I think the direction you're going to be heading in is towards your passionate pursuits. You know, you're going to have a new beginning that brings you some type of passionate energy, you know, and I think it's going to have to do with what you want to pursue for yourself, what you want to build for yourself. I think after you have this little disappointment that happens in your emotional world or inside of this emotional connection with somebody who could be that air sign, you're choosing to move as far away from this person as possible into your own creations, you know, not into another person or another lover, or, you know, you're choosing to take that energy of of feeling like you were tricked a little bit, or having this rude awakening and everything, the illusion being shattered, you're choosing to put that kind of disappointment that you have about that, falling down and abruptly ending, and you're putting it into your own passionate pursuits. Like, you're having a new beginning that's going to give you some passion about moving forward in your life into a whole new direction. And I think it's something that you want to build for yourself, because now this tower thing that's happening is not only just happening just to happen. Like, I think it's just like I was saying in the Libra energy. It's happening for a reason. It happened to bring you to a realization of something. It came in to kind of like shake things up so that you could move forward differently, that you can have a different outlook on life, And now with you moving into this Chariot energy, the Chariot card represents you being fully balanced so that you can actually move forward more efficiently, But something could have been out of balance, which is why this Tower moment had to come. This Tower card had to come and bring that shake up. It had to shatter the illusion. It had to shatter whatever was kind of like keeping you in an unbalanced way of being, or having an unbalanced outlook on life, a more illusion that you were kind of stuck in, maybe when it came down to this air sign you were dealing with, or it's just something that kind of just was kind of like illusional a little bit, but the shattering is happening, but it's going to be so quick, and you're not going to stay there for long. I think, to be honest, you Capricorns may just laugh about it, like, wow, I cannot believe this. Like, you're kind of going to laugh about it. You may be disappointed for a little second, but then after that, it's kind of like you're going to move forward so fast into what you want to build for yourself and what you're passionate about. That's going to like be the catalyst for you to move forward into this Ace of Wands energy, and to move forward with this passion that you haven't had for a while when it came down to your own pursuits, And you're going to be moving forward in such a balanced way, because this Tower moment is bringing some balance into your life. Maybe not in the most ideal way, but it's bringing it in a way that is going to be lasting. It's going to create a transformation that you're moving forward quickly now into your own financial pursuits, your own passionate pursuits, the things you want to build for your life. It's kind of like the projects you want to start up on the side, the business that you want to, invest in. That's going to be coming quickly now that you're moving forward from this whole like laughable experience, Clarifying the Ace of Wands, we had the Fool card. So yeah, you're taking that leap. Whatever has happened with this Tower moment, and whatever has happened is so crazy that the only thing you can do is laugh at it. It's making you take a leap into an area that you have been thinking about maybe for a while, something that you're passionate about, and that Tower moment is what's going to push you that way, like way faster, way quicker than you can ever imagine. Way more passionately. It's kind of like a new drive is being installed into you for 2019, and this Tower moment was just that happening. It was that catalyst, that initiation, because in 2019, what I'm picking up in these energies is like, it's no time to be wasted, which is why the universe is coming in with that Tower moment right in the beginning. Like, here you go, boom, wake up, 2018 is over, and all the energy that was with it, it's over. Let's move forward. Let's keep it moving. And so this Chariot energy moving forward into this Ace of Wands energy, and then being clarified by the Fool energy, is all talking about this brand new beginning, this passionate beginning that you're taking the leap with. When it comes down to something you want to build for yourself, you want to take all your power back. You're walking away from giving your power away from this air sign, or this person that was like an air sign. You're walking away from it, and you're about to take that leap into building something for yourself. And I like all of that. Capricorn, let's keep it moving. Right below that, we had the Seven of Swords. So that's what I was talking about with this Tower card. Like, and with that whole story that I talked about at the beginning, somebody was trying to fool you, And somebody probably thinks that they got over on you in some type of way. They feel like they were victorious. They tricked you. Ha. And they got a little bit of a laugh out of it themselves. But at the end of the day, you're going to have the last laugh. Definitely. you know, because that only happens so that it can kind of like push you into your future. Like the person that could have done it to you, or that could feel like they're getting away with something, they were thinking on more of a, you know, 3D level. It's kind of like they just wanted a quick get over on somebody. I don't know, but the universe was kind of using that as a more universal energy to move you forward into your destiny. You know, so the little victory that they feel like they had is nothing compared to what the universe was using it for. You know, it's like the universe was just using this little tiny thing that this person thinks is a big victory, but you're kind of laughing at it like, wow, like, you got me. Yeah, you got me. It's funny. But they think like they got you big time, but really it's not even that serious at the end of the day, and you're going to see that, which is why you're going to start moving forward so quickly. This is verified or clarified with the Page of Pentacles. So you see how small, like, whatever this person feels like they got over on you with, it's kind of like all they got was a Page of Pentacles. Like, what can you do with that? Like, what can you do with 99 cents these days? Or what? It's kind of like when Jay-Z said that line to 50 Cent, and I'm using a lot of hip-hop terms here, you know, for you guys who are hip-hop, you know, heads or whatever. But Jay-Z, when 50 Cent started to kind of like come against Jay-Z, and 50 Cent was in the industry, and he kind of was like trying to knock everybody off that was on top, and he was taking the shots at all the big people, you know, and everybody felt bothered with him because he was coming in and kind of making a lot of noise as the new kid on the block. And he ended up knocking a lot of people off. But when he tried to come against the head kahuna, like, which was Jay-Z at the time, Jay-Z said one line, and it just kind of like made 50 Cent back off for the rest of his life. He said, I'm about a dollar. What the fuck is 50 cents? Like, so at the end of the day, that's kind of like the energy you're taking on. Is kind of like, I'm about a dollar. What is 50 cent? Like, what? You think you got over on me on this little small thing, but all you got was a Page of Pentacles out of it? Like, I'm a king. I'm a queen. What are you talking about? And that's kind of like how you're looking at it. But this person could be looking back like, I got you, whatever. I don't know. That's probably what they're thinking, or the type of energy that they have. And they're kind of, you know, leaving off with this little smug place. And so it could cause like some small conflict. The Five of Wands represents some conflict that happens, whether it's externally or internally. It's kind of like small conflict that happening for maybe a little short period of time. You could feel that inner conflict happening, and so this person is kind of, you know, smiling about that a little bit. I don't like this air sign that you know you were dealing with. But you're having a rude awakening because of this person. So at the end of the day, you could kind of thank this person a little bit. Like, he was just a pawn, or she was just a pawn that was being used. This person, that's what I'm seeing, like they're a pawn. A pawn, I think that's how you say it. I always say pawn instead of pawn. That's because I'm country and I'm kind of like up northern at the same time. And those two, you know, dialects clash, and I get a lot of words wrong for some reason. But it's pawn. This person was a pawn, you know? And so that's all they were. It was like a logistic move that was made by the universe, and they, you know, it's kind of like the universal energies use this person as a pawn to make something bigger happen in your life. You know, to make some major energy shift in your life. And so they feel like they got over on you, but all they got was 50 cents, and you're going to get the dollar, if you can understand what I'm saying symbolically. So this little conflict that you have with this person, or this internal conflict that they're making you feel about yourself, is only because, you know, it's shifting the way you're viewing your reality, and now you're going to be able to move forward at a speed that you have not been able to move forward yet, because you needed this tower moment to come in with this air sign who thinks that they got over on you, and they're moving away quickly thinking that they got the victory. You look at this Six of Wands by this Knight of Swords. They think that they got victory over you, so they're moving forward with their little pinnacle that they took from you. And they're like, yes, they're feeling like they're victorious. But at the end of the day, you're moving away from them so fast, and away from that type of thinking that you fell into with this person, because it all happened for a reason. It's like in that song that I was talking about, Miss Fat Booty, Mos Def, he was viewing this person a certain type of way because he had a more deeper illusion that he was kind of dealing with within his own world. He believed in, you know, the love at first sight, and he believed that this person was his soulmate, you know, but he didn't put her through the proper vetting. He didn't kind of like protect himself, you know, so that he could get hurt, you know. So he was open to all that, and so he had that shattering, you know, experience where he found out that this person was a stripper and not like an angel like he thought. But it taught him a powerful lesson, and all he could do was laugh about it. And I know moving forward, he probably took on a more logical, rational approach to love. And that's what's happening with you. And so it's affecting the way you look at love. Is also affecting the way you look at your life in general, and what you make a priority in your life. And so you're moving forward to the priority that you know is worth it. You know, the thing that you want to take this leap on, this full energy you want to step into, you want to start from the beginning, you want to just go after passionately. You're moving in that direction because you know that's what is priority in your life. This other thing that you're turning your back on, and this other person that thinks that they got off on you, and they think that they have the victory in some type of way, and they have this smug look on their face, that wasn't even a priority, to be honest. It's just kind of like it was just feeding your illusion, you know, a little bit. And I think you realize that right now, and you're walking away from this tower moment kind of like unscathed a little bit, but it did have a powerful effect in what you focus on for the year of 2019 and what you're going to be going after in 2019. And I love it for you, Capricorn, because you're about to be moving forward quickly. The Chariot is the fastest moving energy in the tarot because you can move along quicker when you're not unbalanced and looking at things in, you know, illusion. You look at it for what it is, and you move forward in that strength of knowing what you want to invest in. This Ace of Wands is talking about what you're investing in and what you're passionate about. And you want to take a leap in that, my fault. You want to take a leap. I think this card, you know, made me think about that word, but you want to take a leap in that direction. So let's go, Capricorn. Let's look at the future energies. We have the Judgment card. We have the Emperor. We have the Nine of Swords. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. So starting it off for your Judgment energies, 2019, the rest of the year, you're having some type of awakening from the beginning. And that's what that Tower card was talking about. This Judgment card is kind of like what's happening because of that Tower moment. And you're having a spiritual awakening of sorts, you know, where you're kind of like coming out of your sleep. You're waking up from those things that eluded you in the past. You're waking up from the illusions, and now you're kind of like, okay, I know what's up now. Like, I know how I'm moving forward for 2019. I know what I'm about to be passionate about, and it looks like it's going to be connected to something that you care about deeply. You know, something that's more along your spiritual nature or your spiritual path, or just your life path. You know, something you're good about, something you're gifted about, something you're gifted in, you know, and something that you kind of like cherish. And so the universe is calling you to get along or get going on that path, and, you know, stopping you from investing in things that are not even worth it at the end of the day. You know, things that are laughable. Verifying that, or clarifying, we have the Six of Swords. So this is just the movement, the moving on from the past that you're moving on from. You know, the Six of Swords talks about moving away from past baggage, or the past thinking, the way that you thought about life, and the things that made you kind of like feel bitter in a certain type of way. You're moving past that. And so you still have a little bit of baggage that you're taking with you, but at least you're going into calmer waters, and you will take out those swords one by one the further you get away from this situation that you're waking up from. So the Judgment card talks about that wake-up call, waking up from the dream and starting to be based in reality. Right below that, the Emperor energy. So I think you're taking on a more Emperor energy going forward in 2019. He's very grounded. this energy, you know, the Emperor is a ruler. He rules an empire, so he doesn't have the luxury of floating off in illusion, you know? He doesn't have the luxury of kind of like being distracted by things that he knows doesn't serve him. So the Emperor takes a more stubborn approach to life, and he's very, very grounded. You know, nobody can really change the way that he looks at certain things because he knows what works, because he has built an empire. And that's kind of like the energy that you're taking on. You're wanting to build your empire, so you're going to have to take on that Emperor energy of being a strong ruler that doesn't get shaken easily by things that come your way. And Capricorn, you're pretty good at doing that, you know, because I think Capricorn is one of the most powerful signs, if you ask me, along with Aries and some other signs. I think Cancer is a pretty powerful one too. But Capricorns, every time I meet one of these people, they are just like confident, strong. They give off that Emperor energy, and I think you're starting to adapt into that energy, or back into that energy, because maybe in 2018 you kind of let off the gas a little bit, even though you were still thinking about your overall plan. It's just kind of like maybe you weren't doing it with such a strong iron fist. But this Tower moment is making you get back in Emperor mode, like, for sure. And that's how you're moving forward. Right below that, we have the Nine of Swords. So maybe in your futuristic energy is going to be something that's kind of keeping you up at night, having to do with a lover, you know, or maybe your want to have this type of relationship, this type of lover connection, you know. And so maybe that's what is going to be keeping you up at night a little bit. Or what was keeping you up at night, you know, kind of can't sleep. You're being anxious about a certain lover that maybe for some of you guys you could have been waiting for somebody to come back around, or just thinking about love in general, and it kind of is unsettling a little bit. You know how you can be a single person, and sometimes when you just think about or see some people that have that love connection and they're in a loving relationship, and you don't have that, and it kind of like makes you stay up at night like, will I ever have that? You know, all that good stuff. That's probably what could be happening later on this month. You kind of could get stuck a little bit again. But I don't think that is going to be that serious, just because you just had this Tower moment and you're kind of like, you know what? Yeah. I'm not about to be stuck thinking about anything that I can't control. Because the Nine of Swords represents something that you can't control, and so you're worried about it and you're anxious about it, but it's only your thoughts. So this is just something that could be happening in your mind, or is going to happen in your mind later on this month, you know, and it has to do with your take, or, you know, what's happening in your love life, you know. Or you could just be worried about a lover that could be coming your way. You know, maybe you have a lover coming in the future that's going to make you feel a little bit on the edge, probably because you just had this Tower moment, and this old lover kind of like made you feel disappointed, and you had to walk away. And they did it in a point to where it was like, wow, it almost amazed you, you know, and it made you laugh. And so moving forward, you're kind of like looking at love like, well, I don't know if I can trust it that much. You know, that's kind of what could be happening. But it's only a Nine of Swords, and swords just represent your thoughts. So I think you can get beyond that, you know, by grounding yourself a little bit in that Emperor energy. Because the Emperor is not laying up at night worrying about love, you know. He's worrying about what he needs to build next. And love is going to handle itself. Right below that, we have the Six of Pentacles. So this usually represents some type of unequal give and take that could have been happening, or you balancing out the way you give and receive from other people, which makes sense. I think that's what you're going to be adopting in your love life and in your life in general. That's going to be the way you combat this Nine of Swords energy, is going to be the way you give and receive your energy, and the way you know, stand in your power and don't give your power away. This card a lot of time represents the way we give our power away sometimes, and finding the balance within ourselves where we don't give our power away and we keep our power. And then so we don't have this type of Nine of Swords energy, where we're kind of like tormented by our thoughts and feeling like that pain and betrayal, and the energy you feel when you give your power away. So you're learning to keep your power to yourself, which the Queen of Pentacles, being the clarifier of that, is very good at. The Queen of Pentacles is good at balance. She balances her power, balances her priorities in her life, and she's able to balance her giving and receiving, balance her work and her play, balance all those things so that she doesn't feel like this, like despair. You usually feel despair when you give your power away, and then you learn a harsh lesson or some type of crazy lesson that comes quickly and makes you feel like the Tower moment, and then you could feel like this. But the Queen of Pentacles could be the person that you're becoming, and you're taking on that energy also, along with the Emperor. And you're kind of like learning how to balance the way you give and receive to people, the way that you reserve your power source. So you could be learning how to do that from a balanced place, so that you're not too guarded, but you're learning how to be guarded to a point where you don't give your power away. Which makes sense going into 2019, because it's a brand new year, Capricorn, and I think you're ready to do some things that you're passionate about, and you're ready to move forward with some things that you have been thinking about building for a while, and now you're taking that leap, and you're armed and equipped with everything that's needed to go into the future, and you know now how to keep your power, definitely. So yeah, if you guys made it to the end of this reading, I want you to do me a favor and go pull up the song Miss Fat Booty by Mos Def and listen to it one time. That's what I'm about to go do, because that is what could be happening or about to happen, unfortunately. But it's going to be a great rude awakening for you guys if this does resonate with you. And if it does resonate with you, like, share, subscribe. Comment, let me know what's happening in the comments. I love seeing you guys commenting. And definitely, Capricorn, I want to thank you guys for all of the likes that you give me and the subscriptions and the love you show to my channel. Coming at you guys with more readings in the future. And if you want a personal reading, email me and we'll hook that up. Until next time, signing off.